Hello, everybody. It is November the 15th, 2020, right here on the Wrestleview YouTube channel. Hello, how are you? I can't hear you. It'll be a while till I read your reply to that question, but I am in. This is a great day. This is a great time. I'm in a great mood. I told you this would never be taken away from us. Doug, what are you talking about? Well, I'll get to that in a little bit. Hello there. I am Doug Lackey, veteran columnist of Wrestleview.com and the co-host of Wrestleview Live, alongside the effervescent editor-in-chief of Wrestleview.com, Mike Tedesco, where we cover all of the major WWE pay-per-views as they occur, because we perform a watch-along. Watch as Mike Tedesco taps with his fingers to recap review live on Wrestleview.com, while I drink furiously and try to make sense of everything that we're watching. Yes, and that is happening next week. The series of Survival, the thing that's happening next week. We're going to be here live around about 6:30. Yep, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, about a half hour before the show goes on, to get you all primed and the things for the series of Survival, the Survivor Series, the 30 years of celebration of The Undertaker. So it's going to be times. The effervescent one says that this is the most inconsequential and irrelevant pay-per-view of all of the WWE pay-per-views. He says it makes no sense. Why should we pay attention to it? Well, you know what? I am going to sell the Survivor Series for you. And I'll try to sell it to Mike if he watches the show today. Because, I will try to sell it to you that I actually like the Survivor Series, how it's turned up. I like how they have it lined up. You could go ahead and say that it's lazy booking or whatnot, but I prefer this gimmick way better than any other gimmick pay-per-views they've had before, like Hell in a Cell, tables, ladders, and chairs. I'd rather have this gimmick over any other gimmick that they've got going on for pay-per-views. But that's just me. But I will sell it to you because we're going to be making predictions for the Survivor Series later today. Also on the show today, top 5 things to pay attention to from the WWE televisions, including someone who is off the milk carton and immediately put on the IR, returning to the WWE after a 6-month hiatus, only to be re-injured and put back on the shelf. All happened within less than an hour. So, that's going to be a story and a half. Lots of headlines. So much discussion going on about the most recent release from the WWE, performer released from the WWE, that immediately sparked discussion and reignited discussion about unionization amongst professional wrestlers. And I would love to devote an entire program to just that topic, but unfortunately, with this coinciding with the release of a performer and the reasons that she's been released from the WWE, now is not the time, I believe, to start discussing unionization. That is a different topic for another time. But instead, we'll just talk about her in general. We'll try not to get too far into the rabbit hole on that one. Once again, like I said, predictions for the Survivor Series. And finally, the day has come. It is this magical time where on the WWE milk carton, we celebrate a brand new golden gallon. Doug, what are you talking about? Well, the WWE milk carton is the regular segment that a lot of you tune into here in the show. The WWE milk carton is a list of performers that are perfectly healthy on the WWE's main roster and have not appeared on television or pay-per-view for at least 3 weeks. A golden gallon is someone who has been perfectly healthy, is on WWE's main roster and has not been on television or pay-per-view for a full calendar year. Only 2 other people have ever been Golden Gallons, and those being the Colognes, Primo and Epico. Epico Cologne going 15 months without being on television or pay-per-view, but was on the main roster. His cousin Primo for a little over a year. So this is a long time coming. A brand new Golden Gallon being christened today on this episode of Wrestleview Weekly. Yes, they could not take this away from me. The WWE could not shoehorn him in anywhere for anything. It happened. So there we go. What happens after this? He's been christened. We will celebrate him forever. Celebrate him forever. Well, no, not celebrate him forever. I think we'll choose when we stop celebrating. Okay, so we got that going on. But finally, well, not finally. First off, gotta do the pleasantries first. If you're in the chat room now, you say wee. If you're not in the chat room, there's not a damn thing I can do about that. Who all is in the chat room? I know that I've got a full boatload of people going inside this little box right down there. Who's in there? I know everyone is wanting to show up for this special day. Who all is here? I see Daniel. I see Michoon. I see Mediocre Lewis. Whee! Yes, Orange Cassidy does rule. I completely agree with you. Who else? I see Andrew. I see Kit. I see CJ. Trevor's in. I haven't seen you in for woo-wee. Well, he gets a woo-wee. Wow, I got really excited about that one. I don't normally do that. Brian's in the chat. Wee! Oh, who else is in there? Everyone else is going to file in. I know they will. Oh, there's Jamel. Jamel's going, wee! Oh, sexy hunk of man meat Lewis is in the chat room too. Wee! I know I should have a sounder. For when I do all of that. But you know what? I prefer doing it myself. It hypes me up. You know, it gets me going, man. It hypes me up and gets me going. All right. Good full chat room for this one. Yeah, you guys know this is going to be a special show. All right. CJ sweet motherfucking Lou. All right. First off, sources. What are the sources today? As many of you know, professional wrestling news websites always have sources that tell you what's happening with behind the curtains. This was supposed to happen on television according to our sources. Oh, well, here at Wrestleview, we double and triple check our sources to make sure that the headlines are the freshest and most reliable that you can find. Willie Walker, wee! And over here on Wrestleview Weekly, it is no different. Our source, the news that we produce and the opinions that we produce have the best sources. And I cannot wait to be this one. Let's see. From Southern Range Brewery. Southern Range Brewery has become kind of a favorite of mine. First off, Southern Range Brewery out of Monroe, North Carolina, which is about a suburb east of Charlotte is where it is. And I have grown addicted to Southern Range Brewery because for 2 reasons. Number one, their hazy IPAs are fantastic. And it's still a little warm outside. It's still in the 70s, so it's still not porter stout weather. So we're still dipping into some IPAs, some hazy IPAs. But the other reason I like Southern Range is the names of their beers are fantastic. Tiny Ass Umbrellas, Ice Cube's a Pimp. One of our recent favorites was the Viper Room Dance Floor. So yeah, but here, another brand new hazy IPA from Southern Range Brewery. It is called, well, I knew it would show through with the green screen. Am I too old to start skateboarding? That is not a question. That is the name of the beer. Am I too old to start skateboarding? I wonder if I should. Let me go see if I can find a descriptor, because I'm kind of curious here. Don't mind me. Am I too old to start skateboarding? See if I can find it. Yeah, I better damn well find it. Oh, here we go. I've got it on Untapped is there. Let's see, where else? Come on now. I see House of Hops. Riding boards. Nope, now we've gotten into skateboard searches. Let's see if the untapped.com. Untapped.com is a great app if you have not checked it out yet. Oh, okay, here we go. That's simple. The descriptor for Am I Too Old to Start Skateboarding is, this is a juicy, hazy IPA, double dry hopped with El Dorado, Idaho 7, and Summit hops. Not bad. The source, the ABV on this bad boy is a 6.5. So let's crack it open. There we go. It's on the keyboard. Got nothing but foam on that one. That's okay. Got a little bit on the keyboard. Crash in the chat room going, wee! Okay, so here we pour from the newly thawed Stein of Redemption. We pour Am I Too Old to Start Skateboarding? There we go. Oh boy, look at that. You see, I do a nice little frothy pour on there. A little bit left in the can. Let's try it out of the can. Way more citrus. Way more citrus than the other hazy IPAs I've had from Southern Range. It's not the best. You know, I've had way better hazy IPAs from them. It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, I'm not going to scoff or anything. I'm not going to stop drinking it, you know. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Put that board down, Douglas. I never skateboarded a day in my life. I never will try it. That's for damn sure. Let's go from here. Not bad. No, that's not bad. This will be a good this could be a good chaser for the other things. So, also before we get into the show, 3 weeks ago was the WWE's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. And Shane in the chat room going, wee! 3 weeks ago was Hell in a Cell. And we made our predictions live as Hell in a Cell was occurring. 5 matches, all 5 of them being locks. And Doug, what do you mean by locks? Well, you see, whenever I make predictions of any kind on this program, whether they be pay-per-view or otherwise, pay-per-view matches or otherwise, I will be so confident in my predictions that I will lock them. If one of my locked predictions is failed to be realized, we do a shot of the Luna Azul Blanco tequila. Yeah. So, Hell in a Cell 3 weeks ago had 5 matches on the card, predicted those 5 matches, all 5 of them being locks, and we went an abysmal, atrocious, and absolutely uncalled for 1-4. So, 4 losses, 4 shots of tequila. So enthralled by my picks, and because I listened to the people in the chat room after I got one of them wrong, and they apparently picked it all right. They picked that Tucker was going to swerve and The Miz was going to win his match. They were prophetic in their predictions. And I believed in the chat room's prophetic nature that they said that The Miz would cash in. Whether he was successful or not, The Miz would cash in his Money in the Bank contract that he had just won. And I said, you know what? Double or nothing. Double or nothing. That The Miz cashes in the Money in the Bank contract. That also did not occur. And so 8 shots of tequila have to be imbibed and taken down for our folly. So far, 4 shots have been taken. We are about to do number 5 and number 6 right now. Number 7 and number 8 will occur during the Wrestleview Live watch-along that'll be going on tomorrow night at 6:30 for the series of Survival, the Survivor Series. Yeah, we'll be doing that. All right, let's do it. Here we go. The Cleveland Indians double shot glass. 2 shots is going to fit into that guy. Do it in front of the camera. Can the camera see it? There we go. Pour this in front of the camera. It is so difficult to do because I've got to raise my arms like this. There we go. I've got to raise my... It's so difficult to really pour that. You guys really don't understand how hard it is to pour that because I've got to lift my arms up high. You know, my elbows have got to be up on head level to pour that so you guys can see it. I'm full of integrity. I have to do that in front of you so you can see that this is not water. Okay? I know I keep saying every week that I hate doing this. It's become a broken record. I totally get it. But Jesus Christ. I hate doing it. I always hate doing this. But again, I got to take this seriously. What I do for you and what I talk about and what I predict and everything else, I have got to take seriously. And we're going to have to make our selections very seriously because the Survivor Series, 6 matches are on the card. And once again, every one of them will be a lock. Yeah, we're doing another full locked pay-per-view prediction. Okay, damn it, Doug. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Oh, excuse me. Raise that glass on high. Hate life. Hate life. Hate myself. Hate the decisions we make. I could have had a lot more love if I had made better decisions in my life. But here we go. Raise it on high. Everyone knows what I'm supposed to say, and I will say it right now. Here's to me not knowing shit about professional wrestling. Oh, God. Oh, God. 2 more to take, and then we're going to go perfect 6-0, right? 6 matches, 6 locks. We're going to go 6-0, right? Absolutely, we're going to go 6-0. This is an irrelevant pay-per-view, right, Mike? It's an irrelevant, inconsequential pay-per-view. There's no reason why we can't go perfect, right? Come on. No question about it. No question about it. We should be able to go perfect. Okay. All right. Let's kick things off. Top 5 things to pay attention to from the wrestling of the televisions. And I'm going to start things off with something I know no one cares about except for me, but tough shit. Let's start things off with last week's episode of NXT, where Boa, the Chinese male performer on the NXT roster, came out on behalf of Xia Li to inform to her opponent, Raquel Gonzalez, that she was not there to perform, and that she could not compete in their match. And Raquel Gonzalez is pissed off because, dude, I was the one that was challenged. What the heck's going on here? And so she proceeded to beat the crap out of Boa. Boa is down on the floor here. He's licking his wounds. And then suddenly, a bright white or red dragon flew around the concourse of, not the Thunderdome. This is a smaller one. It's the Lightning Lounge, Spark Center. One of the two. Went around the arena, and suddenly this older Chinese gentleman, comes out, hands Boa one of those weird letters that has been given to Xia Li and Boa as well, and then made this mark on his hand. Let me see. First off, Boa off the milk carton. All right. Secondly, yeah, this is interesting. Are we looking at, is this guy that made the black mark on his hand, is this going to be part of a faction of, Chinese performers that feel threatened by their mentor or their sensei? I don't know what the word is. Or do we see someone much larger coming out and being the figurehead that is writing all these letters that they're getting? And this fascinates me. For some odd reason, this fascinates me because there's a lot of unknown. There's so much unknown about it, and I kind of like it. I am a sucker also for eerie feeling things in professional wrestling. I always get a kick out of the occult, of the obscure. That's the kind of stuff that creative side of professional wrestling, like Papa Shango, like Mordecai. When I was young, I even liked Damien Demento. God, he was horrible. But I was always fascinated by those kinds of characters, even ones like Dexter Lumis. I'm fascinated by that character. And so this intrigues me. We aren't looking at typical foreigner heel anti-America stuff. Did I love the Brood? Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, the Brood's fantastic. The music made the Brood. There's so many different entrance themes that the WWE had that were fantastic. The Brood is up there in my top 3. Love the Brood. So yeah, I'm very curious about this. CJ saying I must have loved Alexa's crazy stuff. Nah, not so much. Nah, I'm not really. Nah, that's not really. Nah, that's not organic to me. To me, I loved Papa Shango. I loved creepy stuff like that. I liked that. But this is interesting. I'm curious to see how this pans out. Because we don't see this, immediately involving a nemesis. We don't see this immediately having a program of some kind. It's there throughout these deliveries of letters and this guy marking Boa's hand. This is more a reboot or an introduction to some new performers. So this one I'm very curious about. Very, very curious about. All right. Point number 2. If you were watching the tag team match on Monday Night Raw involving Braun Strowman teaming with Sheamus versus Keith Lee and his partner Riddle, just last name Riddle, he doesn't want to be called Matthew anymore. You were watching this tag team match and you were not smiling at all during this match. I don't know if you will ever know of fun. Ever. This was a fun match, okay? It's been a long time. Jamel bringing up OG Mankind was right up my alley. Absolutely. OG Mankind was way up there on my loving creepy things factor. Loved Mankind. But this tag team match, go out of your way to watch it, okay? Go out of your way to watch it. It is fun. AJ Styles as the guest referee and him just getting blindsided left and right by, waylaid kicks, getting squashed by these two big guys, Keith Lee and Braun Strowman. This was fun stuff. There's a fun match. Oh, and then after AJ getting squashed, his big bodyguard Jordan jumping up to the apron, and then we cut to commercial. Fun stuff right here. Doesn't matter who wins or anything. Fun stupidity. You rarely see it in the WWE. Rarely see stupid fun. But man, was it good. Okay, and if you didn't like it, well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if you'll ever really know fun. Well, you might know fun in other ways than if you knew fun in other ways and didn't think that this was fun, I'd question your other ways. You know? Fun things are fun. Fuck your shit. Fun things are fun. Just had to get that off my chest. Okay, now, serious 3 things you do need to pay attention to that are not just my opinion. We have a brand new North American champion in NXT. His name is Leon Ruff, and his belt does not fit. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Johnny Gargano, ex-North American champion, spins a wheel, rigs the wheel, determining who he's going to be facing for the North American title. Ends up coming up Leon Ruff because he rigged the wheel. Damian Priest, standing next to Leon Ruff here and raising his hand in victory, is in the crowd distracting Johnny Gargano. And then suddenly Leon Ruff, little skinny, $185 Leon Ruff, wins the NXT North American title. This is fantastic stuff. After the match, Damian Priest gives Leon Ruff the keys to his challenger and tells him to hightail it out because Johnny Gargano is going to be looking for him. So Ruff splits. Gargano is through the curtain, storming out, trying to find him. Priest's like, I don't know where he went. Dude, you lost the match. Gargano pleading with general manager William Regal that the match should be null and void and that, everything was fixed and rigged. Regal goes, you set up the match. You lost. So, yeah. More fun stuff. Okay? I know it's difficult watching professional wrestling right now. Believe me, I get it. I totally get it. But you've got to find the small things that give you joy, that make you laugh. It's not about cheering or booing. What can make you laugh? Okay? I'll be damned at this. That's hilarious, okay? If you're watching this and you're scoffing because, he dropped the title. It's not the goddamn American flag. Chill out. Come on. It's fun stuff. Fuck your shit. Fun things are fun. Seriously. And you're really scoffing over the North American title, a title that's only been around for, 3 years now, I think? Seriously? Come on. It's one of the youngest titles the Federation has. Stop it. Thing number 2 to pay attention to from last week. No GIF, no nothing. I only want to say that finally, maybe our prayers have been answered. Because finally, after 7 months of a program, we had Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins in a no-holds-barred match, the final chapter. After an eyeball for an eyeball match, after countless numbers of tag team matches and Teddy Long specials. Tell me, Teddy. I said Teddy Long specials.
Now, if all 4 of you want to mix it up, then we're going to do it right. I'm going to make this a tag team match.
7 months of disciples, messiahs, Rey Mysterio's family, including wife and daughter, needlessly injected other people into it, like Humberto Carrillo, Aleister Black. Who else? Samoa Joe, randomly. I mean, is it finally over? Is it really finally over? I mean, we aren't talking, this isn't some Triple H Undertaker end of an era thing, and then you have another match 4 years later. I mean, this isn't that, right? It can't be. The final chapter, really. After this match, and Rey Mysterio won and welcomed Murphy and family with, who the fuck cares? Rollins wants Murphy in a match, and I don't care. Okay? How do we effectively end this? Like, this thing went way too long. Rollins Mysterio program. It went way too long. So we can't look back and change what happened in the past. Okay? How can we book everyone involved in this to where we are actually enthused to see them again? Kind of see what I'm driving at here? You know, where there's been a program that is just so long and tedious that it's all you've ever known those people to be in? Like Undertaker and Kane? How do we... Am I comparing this to Undertaker and Kane? Absolutely not. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to... You've got those two. How do you get them involved in other things without this program being the only thing that they're known for? To me, this is the big boss man nails of our current generation. This, God, how do we get beyond it? You can't. I will be brutally honest, you can't. Because Murphy's incorporated in the Mysterio family now. So whenever you see Murphy, you're going to think Mysterios. What about Seth Rollins? What is he going to do? Is he going to keep on having a Messiah complex? I don't know. If anything, we'll think about it this way. Seth Rollins may be taking some time off since his lady friend Becky Lynch is going to be popping a tiny human out of her tom-tom. So we might be seeing some time off there with Seth Rollins. Rey Mysterio, we might be looking at final times. Final end run, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. But someone is not going to be on TV for a while. And I think that's going to be Rollins. When will that begin? Who knows? It could happen after the end of the next week. This week, I don't know. But by God, I hope this is right. But it probably isn't. Final chapter. End of an era. The final stage. End of days. Speaking of end of days, King Corbin wasn't on SmackDown. I don't know about that. All right. But finally, take a sip of the sources. Because the number one thing to catch from TV is also one of the major headlines that happened from last Friday's SmackDown. From last Friday's SmackDown, we saw the debut or the return of Chelsea Green, who, off the milk carton, had been on the milk carton since May the 27th. She had not been on TV since May the 27th. She was in a match with teaming up with Charlotte Flair to take on Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley in a tag team match. After the match, she fired her manager, Robert Stone, and since then, she hadn't been on television since then, and her manager, Robert Stone, was on TV every week except for maybe 6 weeks. So Chelsea Green is back. She debuts on SmackDown to take part in a fatal four-way to determine who the next participant would be in the SmackDown Women's Survivor Series match. Here she is on the floor, gets back on the apron, booted off the apron, and lands on her right wrist. Lands trying to break her fall. And now she's injured. This is ironically the same wrist that she broke in 2019 that put her on the shelf for upwards of 3 to 4 months. This is also ironically the same thing that caused her to break her wrist. Using her wrist and arm to break her fall instead of just flat backing or lying on your or landing on your shoulder. Just land on your butt. But she instead landed on her wrist. Trying to break her fall. This is difficult for me. I mean, I'm trying really hard right now to, I would love to say what's on my mind right now, but I know that's not the right thing to do. And I think you all are thinking the same thing. Okay. She was not injured for the past 6 months. For the past 6 months, all that she was really doing, the only activity I saw from her was all over the Twitters and the Instagrams posting bikini photos. I'm sure she was training very hard. I'm sure she was practicing her bumps. I'm sure that she was doing vigorous amounts of weight training and physical training, preparing herself for her debut. All of the simps on Twitter, everyone who needs waifus, were saying, oh, so sorry for Chelsea Green. Why was she debuted on SmackDown? We've got news on why she was debuted on SmackDown. It's pretty cut and dry on why she debuted on SmackDown. So sorry for her to come back and then get injured so quickly. Simps giving her so much of it. No shock. This does not shock me at all. Not at all. I'm sure that Chelsea Green was training. I'm sure that she was weight training a ton and practicing bumps and spots and segments and getting back accommodated to the ring, understanding awareness and positioning of the cameras and where you're doing everything and facial expressions and emoting. Everything. I'm sure that she was training hard for the past 6 months for this moment. And I'm sure she was supposed to win this Fatal 4-Way. Liv Morgan, by the way, won that Fatal 4-Way. Oh, by the way, Liv Morgan off the milk carton. She narrowly missed the milk carton. She was about to land on it. The number one cause of injury in all sports, including professional wrestling, is not training hard enough, not weight training, not keeping yourself in the best physical shape possible, not keeping yourself in the best mental shape possible. Freak accidents do occur. This wasn't a freak accident. This is the same thing that happened to her wrist last year. Elias has been injured 3 times in the past 2 years. Those were not all freak injuries. And nor was this one. What's going to happen? She's going to nurse her injury, and then 3 or 4 months later when she's back, gone. I'm putting it right there, right now. Why do we have her? Why? She will be healthy in due time for Elimination Chamber, around about late February, early March, and then she's healthy, just give her the AOP boot. They did it with AOP. Why not? Someone convince me. Someone convince me that... no. Stop. No. I don't think anyone can really convince me that she's a decent professional wrestler. I don't think anyone can. I just don't see it. Anyway, those are the top 5. I'm sorry to end that on a depressing note. But Initiator in the chat room going, wee! Let's go to the news. Let's have some vigorous discussion about... Let's go ahead and talk seriously about why people say the things that they say. No, first I want to have my intro, and then we'll do it. If I can get my Stream Deck to work with me. All right. Last Friday night, I think about the afternoon or night, the WWE released Zelina Vega. Saw the announcement all over the Twitter. But shortly before her release was announced, Taya Trinidad Budgeon, that is her full name, but Zelina Vega posted on Twitter that she supports unionization. Zelina Vega, along with Paige and AJ Styles, was one of the more prominent WWE superstars impacted by the recent edict about Twitch accounts. Here is her tweet that she posted at 5:45 in the afternoon on Eastern Standard Time last Friday. When then 10 minutes later, the WWE released her, which caused everyone to immediately think that the WWE released her because she tweeted that she supported unionization. Zelina Vega also recently launched an OnlyFans account where people can purchase pictures of her wearing cosplay outfits. There is a strict non-nude policy. Zelina Vega signed with the WWE in 2017. She was the manager of Andrade and then Angel Garza from the beginning until the act was broken up in recent months. She was moved to SmackDown after not being selected in the draft. She is married to superstar Aleister Black. 10 minutes after she said that she supported unionization, she was released. Everyone up in arms. That's why she was released. She tweeted that she supported unionization. If you really think that Zelina Vega or Taya Trinidad was not given her papers before she tweeted, there's something wrong with you. Like, seriously, do you think that she would know that she had been released at the same time you did? Stop it. It's number one. Number two, of course she was going to say that she supported unionization 10 minutes prior to being released. She knew she was being released. She could say whatever she wanted and take advantage of having the @Zelina_Vega WWE Twitter account. Working up everyone into a frenzy to get back to unionization. Get the simps working. Workers always working, and those that love to be worked beg to be worked and hope that the workers will feed them the work that they so hope to get. I've got a little story about Zelina Vega. It was about 8 years ago on Twitter. She blocked me. I don't know why. The only thing I ever remember talking about her was like this was back when she was in TNA or Impact, and she was Rosita. When she was in TNA and Impact, and then she had a modest following on Twitter. She talk about how she liked Mortal Kombat. She really liked video games and stuff. I kind of mentioned, surprised. I think I mentioned I'm surprised you have the time for video games. And then she immediately blocked me. Why? I don't know. There's no skin off my teeth. I mean, Jesus Christ, it was 8 years ago being blocked by nobody from TNA. So what? There are only 3 wrestlers who have ever blocked me on Twitter. 3. Zelina Vega, back from Tough Enough, Ivelisse. Remember the big... Yeah, Ivelisse. Why? I think, I gave her a rough time on Twitter. So I kind of deserve that one. And Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan bans everyone. Even if you just spell his name wrong, he'll block you. I think everyone is blocked. I think that's actually a rite of passage. You know, if you're not blocked by Hulk Hogan, then you're not a grounded-to-earth wrestling fan. So I've only ever been blocked by 3 professional wrestlers, if you want to call them professional. Oh, yes, Hulk Hogan's a professional wrestler. But Zelina Vega, that one struck me because that was an incredible thin skin. Oh, CJ, bring it. Yeah, Gold Dust blocks everyone. He did block me, but then he unblocked me. Go figure. I don't know. But Zelina Vega, that one kind of, it didn't rub me. I don't care. But I was like, damn, she's got some thin skin. All it took was one tweet about video games and you just couldn't take it. You didn't have to reply or anything. You can just hide it on your timeline. What kind of message are you sending me? Well, the message you really sent me was, you can't take anything. I've really found Zelina Vega, Rosita Taya Trinidad, to be a very annoying person. Very annoying. Like, she thinks, and I know when to think characters are playing characters, and, you know, but she really wasn't all that big of a deal. Never really has been. It's amazing to think that she probably had more writing on her career was that her dad died in the Twin Towers. That got more traction than anything she's been doing in her career. Wow, Doug, that's harsh. Well, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Seriously. I know that's harsh, but it's true. It's true. But what's more is when you say this, I support unionization. When you've been released, we damn well know what you're trying to do here. Rosita, Taya, Trinidad, Bungus. We know what you're doing. You're just diverting attention away. You're trying to make this something that it's not. You are trying to make this the WWE's fault that you were released. The WWE issued out an edict, a protocol, saying that you had to deactivate your Twitch account or get it supported by the WWE. You had to take down your YouTube video or have it supported by the WWE. But you had the audacity to create an OnlyFans account. Of all the things to create, seriously, of all of the things to create to try to get yourself more money, you had to go to OnlyFans? Really? That's where you had to go? That just screams integrity. Well, I mean, first off, you're a professional wrestler. I mean, what kind of integrity do you have in the first place? Of all the places to go, that OnlyFans, really? What kind of fans were you going to get? What fans were you going to get? What kind of good-hearted, good-natured fans were you trying to find, Vega? Well, you're trying to cash in on that? Yeah. There's a market out there, and only Zelina Vega can tap into it. That's why she was released. She was released because she stuck her thumb up, nose, just raised her nose up to all of their policies. Ah, screw you. I want to make videos so that guys can jerk off to them. Okay. Have fun doing that. Let's see how much money you can make now that you're gone. And that's why she made the comment of, I support unionization. I support unionization. I should be able to work wherever I want to, using the trademark name that the WWE made for me. Because they trademarked the name, they latched it to my likeness, I get to take full advantage of that. We had this discussion a while back regarding trademarks and the edict that was laid down involving Twitch streams and YouTube channels. And I have said my full support of the WWE. They own the trademarks. They own the name. There's nothing you can do about it. If you're wanting to make money by other means and taking advantage of that trademark of the WWE's, you've got to work with the WWE. I'm sorry. I know it's horrible. And that has nothing to do with unionization. It has nothing to do with unionization. This is about patents and trademarks. Now, if you want to talk unionization when it comes to health insurance and benefits, that's another discussion. That's a completely different discussion. But if we're talking about using the likeness and using that name to make money, it has nothing to do with unions. We're talking trademarks and patents. We're talking about copyright infringement. We're talking about, DMCA laying the ban hammer on Twitch streams. That's what this is. So, but Doug, how do they get around that? Let's backtrack to this story involving Trinidad. How much money do you think she was making with residuals? Okay, the biggest reason a lot of these WWE performers are created Twitch streams or YouTube channels were for the biggest reason, number one, is to keep their name out there, to make sure that they stayed relevant, to keep their name out there. Was it to make an extra buck? Sure. Make an extra buck. Use the WWE's popularity with your trademark name to get a bunch of people to sign into your account, and you get $5 a month from every person that subscribes up to you. Sure. Totally get it. Is that the same amount as the residuals you would get from merchandise or appearing at Cricket phone stores or something like that? Maybe. I'm sure it was a lot more than what they would get. But OnlyFans? Really? This is where you're going? Are you really that hard up for cash, Trinidad? I mean, is there that much income lost because of COVID that you have to go to OnlyFans to get your money? Right now, I'm right now kind of working on a piece involving unionization. I mean, there's been way too much talk about unionization, just throwing it up in the air. Just throwing it out in the air like they should unionize, pro wrestlers unionize. Well, how does one do that? Why hasn't it been done already? We're talking as if unions just sprouted out from the ground and pro wrestling just had this epiphany of a year ago. I'm sorry. Unionized work and pro wrestling have been around for over a century. Why is it happening now? I'm going to look into what do they have to do to unionize? And what are the ramifications of unionizing? Case in point, Gabrielle Carteris, the president of the labor union of SAG-AFTRA, reached out to Zelina Vega. Shortly after Trinidad's tweet about unionization, the president of SAG-AFTRA, that is the Screen Actors Guild American Federation of TV and Radio Artists, reached out to her on social media with the tweet, Thanks for standing strong for labor solidarity. I support you. Please email me. SAG-AFTRA itself responded, so do we. SAG-AFTRA represents 160,000 people in the entertainment industry, including singers, TV actors, journalists, radio personalities, recording artists, and voice actors. So, SAG-AFTRA has reached out to Zelina Vega in support of her. So, before you start going, oh, SAG-AFTRA, go to SAG-AFTRA, go to SAG-AFTRA, venture with me now on a journey. Let's go on a journey. What is SAG-AFTRA? Let's just do this in real time, okay? Well, best thing to do is just not go straight to the source. Don't go to the org, because that's going to be littered with company speak and bubble talk. We go straight to the Wikipedia. SAG-AFTRA is an American labor union representing 160,000. Organization was formed in 2012 following the merger of the Screen Actors Guild and AFTRA. This merger, created in 1937 as American Federation of Radio Artists, was AFTRA. Then it became AFTRA in 1952 with the merger with the Television Authority. So, SAG-AFTRA composition has a diverse membership consisting of actors, announcers, broadcast journalists, and yada, yada, yada. Membership in SAG-AFTRA is considered a rite of passage for new performers and media professionals. It is often procured after getting hired for their first job in a studio that has a collective bargaining agreement with the union. SAG-AFTRA work is considered to be substantially more prestigious than non-union jobs. Due to the size and influence of the union, most major media firms have a collective bargaining agreement with SAG-AFTRA through the Association of Motion Picture and Television Producers. Studios that have signed a collective bargaining agreement with SAG-AFTRA are not closed shops, but are generally required to give preference to union members first when hiring. Nearly all professional actors and media professionals working for medium or large-scale American media firms are expected to be unionized. As a result, SAG-AFTRA has many members who are consistently out of work. Uncommon for a union, but reflective of how work is procured in that industry. According to SAG-AFTRA's Department of Labor records, since its founding, 34% of the union's total membership have consistently been considered withdrawn, suspended, or otherwise not categorized as active members. These members are ineligible to vote in the union. Honorable withdrawals constitute the largest portion of these at 20% of total membership, or 47,000 members. Suspended payment members are the second largest at 14%, or 33,000 members. This classification scheme is continued from the Screen Actors Guild rather than the scheme used by AFTRA. SAG-AFTRA negotiates with the studios. Studios being medium to large scale. What is considered medium to large scale? Go ahead and take your pick. But is the WWE one of those that would do that? Absolutely not. They are not to the level of Warner Brothers, though they would love to be. They are not. They are not to the level of Sony. They would love to be, but they're not. Is this a slippery slope? Kind of. But also, we're dealing with professional wrestling. Seriously. Are they recording artists? No. They're not. They are actors. Yes. Broadcast journalists? No. I'm doing a little bit of looking into this unionization thing. Okay, and please don't paint me in this, oh, Doug is just he's bought by big WWE. He's getting checks by them. I wish. I am way more of a realist and a capitalistic scumfuck. Okay? I will not always side with big business, but I will understand why decisions are made within big business. Right now, to me, the only reason that Taya Trinidad is decrying unionization is because she couldn't show her ass on OnlyFans to make an extra $15 a pop. This is not the reason you should be decrying unionization. You should not be raising your fists and torches and pitchforks for people to become unionized just so a piece of ass can show some more ass for $30 a pop. Should be for health benefits. It should be for renegotiating of contracts after your company just signed a $3 billion TV deal with Fox. It shouldn't be for if you can go on Twitch or YouTube. That's chump change. Yes, I understand. You miss the crowds. You miss the adoration. You miss those reactions. Totally get it. You know what I think you're going to miss a lot more than that? Stable head on your shoulders that isn't riddled with CTE. I get it. You love the attention. Totally get it. That's why I'm doing this. I love the attention too. What do you think I'm doing this for? Totally understand. Totally get it. But wouldn't you like it when after you see that your company just raked in $3 billion that you might get a cut of that? Wouldn't it be great to know that when you retire at the age of 45, because you sure as hell ain't going to be able to do this for the rest of your life. Ask The Undertaker, who's going to be appearing at Survivor Series. When you retire at the age of 45, wouldn't it be great to know that you had a pension and that your health insurance was covered and that all those knee troubles and hip troubles and elbow troubles and shoulder troubles and neck troubles and back troubles and everything were covered? But no. Zelina Vega, Taya Trinidad, needs to show her ass off in a Melina costume from Mortal Kombat for $30 a pop. I totally get, again, fighting for unionization. I just riddled out the reasons for it. But Taya Trinidad is not a reason to. Also, people that were released last week. Famous ring announcer Mike Chioda. Isn't that Mike Chioda? No, it's the different one. Isn't that right? It's Mike Chioda. Tony Kimmel. Doug, what the hell's wrong with you? Mike Chioda was the old longtime referee. Tony Kimmel, family friend of Gorilla Monsoon. Had been working for the WWE since 91. He was released by the WWE. Was everyone up in arms? I guess, but he hadn't been doing anything except announcing when Edge returned. Derek Castleman, director of venue merchandise. He had been working with the company since 93. He was also released. That's one you should pay attention to. Director of venue merchandise. You know what that tells me? We ain't going live anytime soon. You know, after Zelina Taya Trinidad was released from the WWE, everyone immediately thought, oh, God, that must mean that Aleister Black's going to be released, right? She's married to Aleister Black. He's going to be released, right? What happened to when Rusev was released? And where were all the calls for that Lana was going to be released? Well, apparently Lana revealed on Twitter that she's going to be featured for the next WWE Chronicle episode. So, I got my predictions about what's going to be happening in Survivor Series with this. Oh boy, it's going to be bad. People are going to be so angry. Well, let's see. The Rascals. I don't know who these people are, but they wrestled their final match with Impact earlier this. They wrestled their final match for Impact on a taping that will be airing next week. They are Trey Miguel, Desmond Xavier, and Zachary Wentz. I've never seen these guys. I'm sure they're little critters that bounce around everywhere and do all kinds of flippy dippy shit. I'm sure. I don't know. Should I care about them? I don't really know. But all I really know is that Alex Zane was reportedly signed to a contract for the WWE, as well as Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz of the Rascals. They will be reporting to the Performance Center soon, and I'm sure they will be part of the new class of 2021. Little critters galore. The Lord knows we need more of them. Speaking of other signings, AEW announced that they signed Jade Cargill to a multi-year contract. I don't know who she is. She trained under QT Marshall at his Nightmare Factory in Georgia, as well as Face-to-Face Wrestling School owned by Richard Borger and Heath Slater. She played basketball for Jacksonville University. She said that she knew Shaq at the most recent episode of AEW, and then Brandy Rhodes came out and just unloaded and showed that she's way better on a microphone than she could ever be in a ring. Leading up to Brandy Rhodes and Cody Rhodes versus Jade Cargill and Shaq. No. But bigger news and more important news. WWE's time at the Amway Center or the Thunderdome is going to be coming to an end soon. We reported here on Wrestleview that they've been stationed there at the Thunderdome and ever since they signed up past August. And the contract was coming to an end, their lease was coming to an end in Halloween. Well, P-Dub Insider reported that the contract will now be ending this month because they renewed that lease for only one more month. The company must clear out of the arena no later than December the 5th because the Orlando Magic are going to need the arena as the NBA hopes to start their brand new season. There is no confirmed new location for the WWE. To run the Thunderdome, they would need to go to a recently built arena that can handle the requirements needed to run it, being a basketball arena. They are rumored to be looking at other locations in Florida, Texas, and Illinois. The Arena Wars will commence. The Arena Wars. I talked about this, I think, about a couple of months ago on one of our watch-alongs. I think it was our SummerSlam watch-along. The Arena Wars. They are beginning right now. Who will get it? Who knows? But we knew this was going to be coming soon. WWE filed for new trademarks, including Slamboree, The Match Beyond, Bunkhouse Stampede, Battle Bowl, Super Brawl, Bash at the Beach, Candy Floss, and Austin Gray. Candy Floss and Austin Gray are performers with NXT UK. Bash at the Beach had been used by AEW. Not anymore. AEW Executive Vice President Cody Rhodes had previously applied to trademark Slamboree, The Match Beyond, Bunkhouse Stampede, Battle Bowl, and Super Brawl, but abandoned the filings. Cody spent several months going for Bash at the Beach, but it was deemed to be confusing with the WWE's trademark of The Bash. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the core makeup of the WWE. Trademarks, patents, copyrights. This is what Jeff Jarrett tried to get his hands on with TNA and Impact. This was the bread and butter of professional wrestling. It's trademarking and copyrights. Why? Work your workers to the ground, and you make your money from their name. Doug, I thought you said you were against unionization. That's what businesses do. Sorry. Unless you can be known by your real name. AEW. Their ambitions have gone so far so wide that they are now dabbling into video games. I will mute this and just play a little bit because we got Kenny Omega and Dr. Britt Baker and so many others dressed up as Steve Jobs to show off the brand new AEW video game that is right now in development, courtesy of Ukes Entertainment, who used to make WWE 2K. So, here we are. AEW has enlisted the help of WWE's former video game developer. Also, AEW is looking at developing 2 new mobile games, one of them being a gambling game of some kind, AEW Casino, and then also a, I'm sure, trading card game of some kind. But yeah. Kind of a big deal. This is kind of a big deal. And I say that because now the WWE, with how their 2K games have been the past 2 years, atrociously bad, pedal to the metal to try to meet deadlines. They have been bad. Their branding is dead. The games that the WWE has coming out right now are atrocious. AEW is going to feast upon it. Is it worth it? Yeah, I think so. AEW can make a killing here. Make an absolute killing. Is it worth it? I haven't bought a professional wrestling game in a very long time. I don't really care. Don't really care. Professional wrestling video games, to me, they now scream to me of people that want to fantasy book their own federations, you know, and they argue and wince and scream to the heavens when something doesn't happen on TV that they booked on their video game and think it's wrong and think it's horrible. I fantasy book all the time. I'm wrong all the time. I'm okay with that. So, but I like this avenue of AEW grabbing Ukes, but we'll see. I'm curious how much money they're going to lose with this. Okay, there's going to be some money lost from this. It's significant to sign up Ukes. It's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Scary news. Paige and her boyfriend Ronnie Radke last week revealed on Twitter that they had to deal with what was a scary stalker incident. Here we are. She puts on her Twitter, scariest thing ever. He told us symbols led him to us, but Ronnie got him in a hold until police got there. A stalker had the audacity to come to their door, but got his ass handed to him by police. Okay. I recently only liked Paige's now official Soraya's Twitch stream. I'm horribly regretting that decision. I am getting constant messages on whenever she is streaming. I'm getting constant messages and bombarded with spam on whenever she's doing anything, let alone breathing. Is this why we need to unionize? I don't know. This is why we need to unionize? Okay. Let's end this on some good news. Let's end this on some good news. End the headlines on good news. WWE superstar Alexa Bliss was engaged to her singer-songwriter boyfriend Ryan Cabrera, fiance now. Both Bliss and Cabrera noted that the engagement came exactly 1 year from the day they began their relationship. Cabrera, 38, began his music career in 2001 as the lead singer for the Dallas band Rubik's Groove before pursuing his solo career. Following here is the tweet from the Lexi Kaufman, the Alexa Bliss. do this, post it up. There we go. 1 year ago, we said hello. Tonight, I said yes. Right there in an empty dining room. So, yeah, Daniel, tough shit. You never had a chance. So, congratulations to Alexa Bliss and Ryan Cabrera. Congratulations. Happy times. Happy times. Too much horrible news and too much anger. Okay, it's got time to be happy. Traveling along, there's a song that we're singing, Come On, Get Happy. I know it's delayed, CJ. I had a lot of weird, wacky video shit playing earlier. Yeah, sorry about that. Let's see. That's enough of the news. Yeah, we know that Chelsea Green is injured. Let's go over to the IR front. Becky Lynch has got a tiny human in her tom-tom. She's not going to be back until WrestleMania times. Jinder Mahal, reparative knee surgery on his right knee, the same knee that he ruptured his patella. Should have been back last month. I'm not sure what's going on here. Keep your eye on Jinder Mahal. Edge, torn tricep. He won't be back until WrestleMania times. Charlotte Flair, cosmetic surgery on an exploding boob. She should be back in time after Survivor Series. Ivar, it's supposed to be clavicle injury, not a cervical injury. I don't think he's able to have a cervical injury. Next Stinger, he won't be back until SummerSlam of next year. Mickie James had a broken nose, and she was supposed to have been back last month, but she is such an important character that we don't really need to have her on television. But I'm keeping her on the list for now. Chelsea Green, the same broken wrist she had last year. She won't be back in time until Elimination Chamber, February of next year. Karrion Kross, separated shoulder. He'll be back in time for Survivor Series. That means within 2 weeks' time. Tegan Knox, third torn ACL in the past 3 years, I believe. She won't be back until SummerSlam times. If she ever does, she might be done. Ridge Holland, ruptured patella. He won't be back until SummerSlam times. And finally, Fons Balor with a broken jaw is scheduled to be back in time for Survivor Series. He will be appearing on NXT this week. So, he'll be off the list, re-eligible for the milk carton, and those are all the people that are hurt. What about the people who aren't hurt? What about the people who are perfectly healthy? What about the people who haven't been on television or pay-per-view for, say, 3 weeks? They end up on a very special list of my own design. It is a happy day. It is a time of celebration. It is a time of joy. This never happens. This is only the third time in this show's near 3 year existence that this has ever happened. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourself for impact. Turn your head if you're squeamish. It's the WWE milk carton. Oh, happy days are here again. It's my time to shine, and I believe. Oh, it's a happy day indeed. Oh, it's such a happy day. Let's start things off with the usual suspects. Jimmy Uso. Last time we saw him was at Hell in a Cell 3 weeks ago, where he got himself involved in the I Quit match between Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, and he was getting the shit beat out of him. Then Jey Uso said, "Yes, I quit. Stop beating up Jimmy." Well, Jimmy hasn't been seen for the past 3 weeks, so I don't know if that's a good thing or not to say I quit. Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong have not been seen since the October 21st episode of NXT, where all three of them, Adam Cole was beat up by Ridge Holland and had busted up ribs. He hasn't been seen since then. Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong were beaten up backstage by somebody. They haven't been seen since then. And so, sure enough, all three of them, including Kyle O'Reilly, will be showing up all again to collectively beat up Pat McAfee and Pete Dunne, Oney Lorcan, and Danny Burch. So what's going to happen? So they're all taking a vacation. Bronson Reed, haven't seen him since the October 21st episode of NXT, where he faced off against Austin Theory and was victorious. Austin Theory is here. Yeah, there he is. Faced off against Austin Theory and won. After the loss, Austin Theory said that he quit the WWE, but he's still on the main roster, and so no, he hasn't quit. He just hasn't shown up. Bronson Reed, though, he hasn't quit and he hasn't shown up either. Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter have both not been seen since the October 21st episode of NXT, where Casey Catanzaro had a match against Xia Li, and Caden Carter was at ringside for that match. This was to prolong the... Xia Li had to have a match, and she had to win, but she didn't win. But nothing happened, because then Raquel Gonzalez came out and beat the crap out of everyone because she was going to have a match with Rhea Ripley. Isaiah Swerve Scott, haven't seen him since the October 21st episode of NXT, where he was involved in a usual Teddy Long special. Teddy Long special.
Now, if all four of you want to mix it up, then we going to do it right. I'm going to make this a tag team match.
Him, Jake Atlas, and some other guy facing off against El Legado del Fantasma. Right now, Santos Escobar of El Legado del Fantasma is facing off against Jake Atlas of that crew. Swerve Scott's doing stuff on 205 Live. Who knows? Austin Theory did not quit. Aaliyah, haven't seen her since the October 14th episode of NXT, where she took a powder to the debuting on the NXT of the regular US variety Toni Storm, who always reminds us that it's leg day. Aaliyah lost in that match, and Robert Stone, her manager, was there along ringside. These are sad, sad times when Robert Stone is not on my television. Aleister Black. His wife is no longer with the company, and he hasn't been on TV since October the 12th, where he had a match against Kevin Owens on Monday Night Raw. He has since been drafted to SmackDown and done absolutely nothing. If he is released, I don't think we would notice. Andrade, have not seen him since that same episode of Monday Night Raw where he had a match against Angel Garza. Since then, Angel Garza, who had an incredible quadricep tear scare nearly a month ago. Angel Garza has been on TV for the past 2 weeks doing his Bachelor impersonations in the form of a monologue by handing us a rose to the camera. Andrade hasn't been doing a damn thing. Regular to the WWE milk carton. It's almost like every 4 weeks this bastard shows up. Humberto Carrillo. Haven't seen him since the October 5th episode of Monday Night Raw, where he teamed up with Dominic to face off against Murphy and Rollins. Part of that whole frickin' Rollins and Mysterio thing, where we had to throw in random people in Teddy Long specials.
Now, if all four of you want to mix it up, then we gonna do it right. I'm going to make this a tag team match.
Oh, for the love of God, I hope that's a final chapter, but we know it's not. Mercedes Martinez, haven't seen her since the October 5th episode of Monday Night Raw, where she took part in a segment with Mustafa Ali, involving retribution. She stood in the background of Ali's monologue. She has not been seen since then. We have no clue what's going on here. I've got a feeling she's going to be taken off the main roster and might be a trainer. And that would be fantastic, I think. Kalisto, haven't seen him since the October 2nd episode of SmackDown, where he was at ringside for another Teddy Long special.
Now, if all four of you want to mix it up, then we going to do it right. I'm going to make this a tag team match.
Yes, he was at ringside when Lince Dorade, Gran Metalik, and someone else faced off against Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura, and King Corbin. I think it was Matt Riddle. Who was at their ringside. Yeah, it was a 6-man clusterfuck. Who cares? Lince Dorado and Grand Metalik are on Monday Night Raw chasing after the 24/7 title, but Kalisto is doing nothing on SmackDown. Marina Shafir, haven't seen her since the September 23rd episode of NXT, where she took part in a battle royale. Sources, Doug. Marina Shafir, haven't seen her since the September 23rd episode of NXT, where she took part in a battle royale of the Vagina Persuasion, the second one of the year for NXT, to determine the number one contender for the NXT Women's title, and that would be Chelsea LeRae won that battle royale. I haven't seen her since then. She's been posting pictures all over the Twitter about how much she loves family life. Arturo Ruas, previous stalwart of the WWE milk carton. Haven't seen this guy's bald ass since September 21st, where he was underground on Monday Night Raw. And so was Riddick Moss. And so was Dabba-Kato. All three of them underground, doing shit underground. Underground doesn't exist anymore. It's been filled with concrete. It's been almost 2 months. I have no idea. I think they should form a faction, these three, along with Marina Shafir and Jasmine whatever. These three of Riddick Moss, Arturo Ruas, and Dabba-Kato should form a faction. They're just underground guys that beat the shit out of people and don't care. They lose every match because it ends in a DQ. I would love it. Would absolutely love it. Jessamine Duke, haven't seen her since the September 7th episode of Monday Night Raw. She was underground as well. Will she be doing? I don't know. Scarlett, haven't seen her since the August 26th episode of NXT, where that was when Karrion Kross relinquished the NXT title due to a separated shoulder after his match. Just because Karrion Kross is injured, that doesn't mean that Scarlett is injured as well. She hasn't been on TV. She's perfectly healthy. She should be reappearing on TV very, very soon. Induce Share. Haven't seen these two jokers since June the 24th episode of NXT, where a monologue was being delivered on their behalf by this guy, Malcolm Bivens. I was about to say Montel, but it's Malcolm Bivens. The reason the tag team Induce Share has not been on television is because of the color green. And Malcolm Bivens hasn't been on TV because why the fuck would we want him on TV when his tag team can't do anything? Mojo Rawley, haven't seen him since the June 19th episode of SmackDown, where he faced off against Shorty G to try to make Shorty G a thing. This was the third time we've tried to make Shorty G a thing. Shorty G is no longer a thing because Shorty G is now known as Chad Gable, and Chad Gable's trying to make himself a thing, saying that he has a Gable Academy, a wrestling academy, and he's trying to court Otis on Friday Night SmackDown. All of this shit involving trying to make Shorty G a thing for the past year, and no one can figure it out. Mojo Rawley sure as hell can't. The Forgotten Sons, Jackson Riker, Wesley Blake, and James Cutler. We haven't seen them since the May 29th episode of SmackDown, where they gave a monologue and a wacky fucking salute. Jackson Riker deleted his Twitter account because he was getting way too much shit. That snowflake had to find a safe space somewhere. I'm sure he's found one on Parler to recite biblical quotes and say that Donald Trump was defrauded of the presidential election. I'm not lying. James Blake and Wesley Blake and James Cutler, they've been silent. They're smart. Mansoor, haven't seen him since the February 27th episode of, it wasn't an episode, it was an event. It was Super Showdown, straight out of Jeddah, Riyadh, or Bismarck, South Dakota. Mansoor only performs in his home country of South Dakota because he faced off against Dolph Ziggler. We are not going back to South Dakota anytime soon, not just because of COVID, but quite frankly, Why would we want to go back to South Dakota? Kona Reeves, haven't seen him since the February 19th episode of NXT, where he took a powder to Keith Lee in less than 25 seconds. Vanessa Bourne. Haven't seen her since the January 15th episode of NXT, where she took part in the first Battle Royale of the Vagina Persuasion. That one was won by Bianca Belair to determine the number one contender for the NXT Women's title. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the brand new stalwart of the WWE milk carton, Vanessa Bourne. We are 8 weeks away, I believe. Let's do the math here. 8 weeks. Are we right on that one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are 9 weeks away from christening the first ever female Golden Gallon. Kamala Harris, our brand new vice president-elect, has inspired Vanessa Bourne to achieve everything that she could ever possibly hope to achieve by becoming the first ever female recipient of the Golden Gallon. 9 weeks. It's going to be so great. But until then, okay. First, hold on. We've got to, hold on. Take down some sources here. Dribble out all over yourselves because we're so happy. CJ saying, Doug, I'm dead. You're wrong for that. I'm not wrong for anything. I'm incredibly correct. Okay? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. Grab your sources on high. Crack them open. Spray it all over your keyboard. Pour another one. Fill that guy up to the brim. It's a horrible fucking pour. Don't care. Niche telling me to go find a clip of Bo and Lesnar. I can't do that. The Gestapo will get after me. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to celebrate the brand new recipient of the Golden Gallon. What is a Golden Gallon? I said it before, you inattentive fuck. It's a member of the WWE main roster who is perfectly healthy and who has not been on television or pay-per-view for an entire calendar year. I found the perfect music that is copyright free, that I will not get nailed by the Gestapo for. And I believe that, that when you listen, this is the music you hear whenever you see a stupid fucking montage of animals playing around or, hey, make crafts in 5 minutes. So this is what I'm equating to the theme for the Golden Gallon. Play it now. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to welcome the brand new recipient of the Golden Gallon. We have not seen him since November the 15th of last year, where he was in the ring with Curtis Axel and Drew Gulak, making fun of Braun Strowman leading up to the series of Survivor Series. Since then, Curtis Axel is no longer with the company. Drew Gulak is off on Monday Night Raw chasing after the 24/7 title. Braun Strowman has shaved his head and thinks he's a cage fighter. Ladies and gentlemen, in 7 easy steps, you too can have a great 7-layer dip for your New Year's Eve party. Bo Dallas is the new Golden Gallon. Stand up and clap. Do it now. We knew this could be done. There was no doubt, ever. He's achieved so much for doing so little. What a feat of achievement. We never thought that this could be done. And by all people. Of course it would be done by a 3rd-generation superstar. Of course it would. God, I love this music. I don't give a shit what any of you say. Oh, it's fantastic. Thanks to Grash for making this really horrible graphic. I'm kidding. Big thanks to Grash for this. He sent me all the stuff to do this graphic again, but I don't know. I think it'd be in more capable hands with Grash doing it than anything else. Man. We waited a calendar year for this. Seriously, guys, come on. This is a big deal. Who knew that this would ever be done? Oh my God. I tried pouring the beer in the mug. So, again. Here's to the brand new Golden Gallon, Bo Dallas. We always believed. We never lost faith. Here's to you doing nothing for a whole year. All right. I'll kill the music. Okay, I'll kill it. Oh, it's fun. Oh, it's fun stuff. Is he on the Golden Gallon Mount Rushmore? No, because there's no such thing, because he's only the 3rd. Ah, man. This is fantastic. All right. So once again, guys, we'll continue to celebrate. We will celebrate Bo Dallas for as long as we wish. We probably do this for another couple of weeks, I think. I think we'll do this for another 4 weeks, I think. Once we're halfway. Because I'm telling you, hey. In 9 weeks, it happens again. History is made. God, I'm so inspired. It inspires me. You know, Bo Dallas inspires me. I am inspired to go to work and do absolutely nothing and get paid for it. You all should do the same. When you go to work tomorrow, tell them Bo Dallas makes me Bo leave. I can do absolutely nothing and get paid for it. Okay. That's the milk carton. Who else may be showing up on the milk carton? It was extremely NXT heavy this go around. Who's slated to come up? Not a lot of people. Do I see big names? There are big names showing up on the milk carton if they don't show up on TV soon. But I'm sure we'll have all of Undisputed Era up there soon as well. So that's the WWE milk carton. We have got predictions to make on an incredibly inconsequential and irrelevant pay-per-view said by my editor-in-chief, but he is not the boss of me. Wait, he is. No, never mind. Kid saying I'm taking the day off. Well, you're not celebrating. No, the only way you celebrate Bo Dallas as the Golden Gallon is going to work and doing absolutely nothing. Okay? You can't do it on your day off. You must be at work and doing absolutely nothing. All right. This pay-per-view is not irrelevant. It is not inconsequential. It is relevant. Consequential, maybe not, but it's fun. God damn it! Let's just go ahead and predict this. I'm pretty sure I screwed up the teaser graphic, so let's just go straight to it. All right. Survivor Series, the series of survival, originated Richfield Coliseum, Cleveland, Ohio. But you didn't know that, did you? All right, 6 matches on the card, 6 locks is what we're doing because I need to make up. The Hell in a Cell pay-per-view was an abomination. It will not happen again. I cannot. I must redeem myself. And this is how I'm going to do it. 6 matches on the Survivor Series card, all 6 of them locks. What does that mean? If Doug doesn't get the match right, I take a shot of the Lunazul Blanco tequila. We are taking this seriously because this is such an unnecessary pay-per-view. Let's start things off with the men's Survivor Series match that only shows one team on the graphic. Don't look at me. This is what's on the WWE's page. This is all I got to work with. Let me see if I can find I need to find the full card here. Because I'll be honest, I really cannot remember who is on the other team. All right. Here we go. Men's Survivor Series match. It's going to be AJ Styles, Keith Lee, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Riddle versus over on SmackDown, Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, King Corbin, Seth Rollins, and someone else. I'm sure that someone else is going to be Otis. That'd be my guess. There's way too much fun stuff happening on Monday Night Raw for me to really give a shit what's happening on SmackDown. And the other thing, too, is the big thing with these Survivor Series matches is there's supposed to be a sole survivor who is supposed to be like the next up-and-comer. It's like a christening to who will be given the pushes and the focus for the next 2 or 3 years. Randy Orton's won it twice. Any indication? There are some others that have won it and floundered tremendously. Braun Strowman. But AJ Styles, Keith Lee, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Riddle versus Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, King Corbin, Seth Rollins? No, Seth Rollins, and some other guy, but it's probably going to be Otis. Yeah, Grash noting that this Survivor Series is brought to us by Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm sure that Survivor Series, like Cyberpunk, will be delayed by 5 months. All right. Raw, lock it. Raw, lock it. There's way too many good programs that can happen out of this Survivor Series team and people involved going to other programs than what's happening on SmackDown. Though I will say Raw these past few weeks has been utter shit. SmackDown has been the better television program, but I see a lot more in the long-term future on Raw when it comes to programs right now. Match number 2. I said match number 2. Liv Morgan's going to be in a match. It's going to involve women in a Survivor Series elimination match. Team Raw is comprised of Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, and Lana, squaring off against Team SmackDown, who is Bianca Belair, Whoopi Wyatt, Liv Morgan, and 2 other chicks. Not sure who. I'm sure Bayley and Tamina. I don't know. I can make nothing out of SmackDown. Nothing at all. Because this is all going to be about Lana. Raw women win. Lock that. Because Lana's been put through a table. It's going to be 9 weeks in a row she's been put through a table. And it's going to lead up to her being the sole survivor at Survivor Series. And then it'll lead to her inevitable release sometime soon. Bianca Belair is going to be the sole survivor on SmackDown? No, there's going to be infighting on SmackDown. Right now, SmackDown's team has 3 baby faces, no heels. I expect Bailey to be one of those heels, and probably Tamina doing other shit. I don't know. You guys disagree with me? You tell me I should switch? It should be SmackDown? Lana's going to be put through a table during the Survivor Series match, but she'll come back in and eliminate the last one to win? Come on. Come on. Sorry. That's what I see. That's how I see it. Sorry. Natty gets on. Yeah, Natty's going to definitely be part of it. Natalya is going to be the one that is pinned last for Lana to win. Hey. Sources. Bobo Lashley versus Sami Zayn. Bobo Lashley, the United States champion. Sami Zayn, the Intercontinental champion. We always, look. Last year, we had this whole NXT versus SmackDown versus Raw. Remember that? You remember what the match was involving the mid-card titles? Come on. You remember what it was. Come on. Because all of these matches that they had last year's Survivor Series were triple threats. They were just clusterfucks to introduce us to NXT now that they had gotten a television program on USA. Everything was a triple threat. So you had your United States versus Intercontinental versus NXT North American. I know that Roderick Strong was the United States champion. But I'm trying to remember. Okay, it was AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Jamel brings it up. Yeah, how stupid of a match that was. Everyone just nutted. The entire internet just got crusty underwear from it. And now look at where we've gone. From there to Bobo Lashley versus Sami Zayn. Can we just sit back and look at this metaphor for a second? Can we just sit back and look at this metaphor for a second? We have Sami Zayn representing the conspiracy theorists versus Bobo Lashley, the successful African-American gentleman. Let's just sit back and relish in this graphic right now. Let's just I want to bathe in this right now. This is fantastic, okay? Conspiracy theorist, everything is a fraud, everything is a sham, versus successful black guy. Now, if you're like me, and I know I am, and you know how Vince thinks when it comes to these kind of metaphors, you know what he's going to do, right? That's right. Sammy. Zayn, Lockett. CJ, yep, you got it. Yep, Zayn, yep. Vince McMahon is a political troll. He always has been. Always will be. He will find any way that he can to bring any kind of political metaphor into his wrestling matches. Whether it be so flamboyant as having Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama lookalikes wrestle, than to actually have an actual metaphor in a match. Sami Zayn win. All right, match number 4. This is compelling. Raw Tag Team Champions, The New Day, versus SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Street Profits. I say that this is compelling because we are seeing the beginnings of a heel turn for the Street Profits. For the past 2 weeks, they've been egging on Big E about how they're going to win, and Big E rigorously, vehemently passionately denying that they are not going to win. And always laughing along with them. And then as Big E leaves, they scowl, curdle their faces. This is not going to end well. This is not going to be your typical fun black guys versus fun black guys. Street Profits aren't happy. Say the New Day wins. I'll take New Day. And then Street Profits go ham. I'm going to take New Day. They'll win the match. No DQ. It's going to be clean. It's going to be clean. And then suddenly, Street Profits just grab some chairs and go bonkers. Yeah. Big E will be at ring. Big E will run down, celebrate with Kofi and Xavier, and the Profits tee off. They know the right club to use on that hole. Jamel asking, how will heel Street Profits even work? You don't have any heel. I mean, are we really talking about how the tag team divisions are working on Raw and SmackDown right now? Are we? Really? And besides, does it turn Street Profits heel? Well, it depends on who they confirm that upon after turning on New Day. They're on separate television programs. Who says that the Street Profits can't be injected with some badassery and still have cups fall down during their entrance? It's kind of what I'm envisioning right now. Something's going to happen in this match. It's going to turn some heads. It's going to make some people really think about, well, the tag team division means something now. Not when SmackDown is full of heels. We'll see. To me, if you want me a face tag team that I want in there, Dominic and Murphy. Yeah, but again, just curious. Street Profits are going to be injected with some badassery after their match. Match number 5. Asuka versus Sasha Banks. I so don't care about this. I just don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit what's happening with Sasha Banks. Apparently, when Bayley walked down to distract Sasha, she became a ghost when Carmella showed up. I don't know. That's all happening there. Asuka's got nothing. There is nothing happening with Asuka on Raw. Nothing. Nothing is happening because they're centering everything around Lana, Shayna Baszler, and Nia Jax. They will make this match milk out for a half hour, meaning nothing. This is a match signifying nothing. But it tells me that the run-ins are going to happen on Sasha's side, so Asuka wins. I'll take Asuka. Lock it. All the run-ins and distractions are happening on Sasha's side. Yeah, that's what it is. All right, take last swig. Main event. Main event of the night. Randy Orton, WWE Champion, versus Roman Reigns, Universal Champion. Main event. Last Friday, Drew McIntyre showed up on SmackDown saying that he was going to have a WWE title match against Randall Orton on Monday Night Raw. And then after that, he would be the WWE champion, and he would face off against Roman Reigns at Survivor Series. And wow, that's a really good turnaround on a story. Man, we've got some good story arcs going on there. How he defeated Heyman's boy in 5 minutes earlier this year. Did it earlier this year, and he's going to do it again. Or none of that happens. Or none of that happens. or Randy Orton is still the WWE champion. He retains. And he retains that title because there's an interference in the Drew McIntyre-Randy Orton match. And it's interfered by a guy who's been trying to get Drew McIntyre's attention to help him out. Well, actually, I take that back. Drew McIntyre could very well be the WWE champion. But what's weird is, so hear me out and travel with me on this. For the past 2 or 3 weeks, Sheamus has been courting Drew McIntyre to join the Raw Survivor Series team, and he's politely turned it down. Instead, they're replaced by Riddle. At some point during this journey, the Raw Survivor Series team could lose, or Sheamus gets eliminated by a straight errant shot by Matt Riddle. Sheamus is going to blame Drew McIntyre for something. I am expecting a Sheamus Drew McIntyre program of some type. But I don't know how that's going to happen. Is it going to be involving the WWE title? Are we going to get a Riddle Randy Orton thing? I mean, I don't. Miz can cash in. That's absolutely right. Miz could cash in on either one of these guys. Oh, the plot thickens. Oh, the plot thickens. Doug, who's winning the match? Randy Orton, Roman Reigns. Stop thinking ahead. Stop going down different exits off the interstate. Those driveways are not paved. Who have we got? Who's winning the stupid fucking match? Roman. Roman's going to win. Andrew's reminding me of The Fiend because we all know Andrew's going to remind me of The Fiend. He's the only one who does. I kid. Roman Reigns. I'm taking Roman Reigns. I'm getting way too deep. Roman. Taking Roman Reigns. All of these matches are locked. I've got to redeem myself. Okay, going 1-4, Double or Nothing last month was an abomination. That will not happen. We are going 6-0, at worst 5-1 on this show. So, Doug, every match is a lock. Every match I'm wagering a shot at tequila. Oh my God, I'm going to regret my decisions. The men's Survivor Series match, I'm choosing the Raw team of Keith Lee, Sheamus, AJ Styles, Braun Strowman, and Matt Riddle to survive. Caveat, the sole survivor, Matt Riddle. Women's Survivor Series match of Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose, and Lana on the Raw side versus who are the vaginas on the SmackDown side of Bianca Belair, Ruby Wyatt, Liv Morgan, and 2 others. One of them being Bayley and Natalya being the other one. Raw women are going to win that one. I lock that one. Bobo Lashley versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, Intercontinental Champion. Bobo Lashley, United States Champion. I'm taking Sami Zayn. The New Day, Raw Tag Team Champions versus the Street Profits, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I'm going with the New Day, and Street Profits are going to be injected with some badassery afterwards. Asuka versus Sasha Banks. If there's ever a match that you want to go into the bathroom or make some nachos or mozzarella sticks or whatever the hell you'd like to eat, this is the match to do it on. And this is not constantly saying that women's matches are always the bathroom break matches. No, it's because this match was poorly drawn up and poorly contrived. I'm taking Asuka and I'm locking it because there's too many people that can interfere with Sasha Banks. And finally, Randall Orton, WWE Champion versus Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion. There's a lot of shit that can go down in this match, but it all involves the match and who wins it. That keeps me from drinking any tequila. I'm taking Roman Reigns. They're all locks. Oh, my God. Just pray for us. That's going to do it for Wrestleview Weekly. Oh, yeah, the tequila is hitting hard. The tequila is hitting so hard, I have no problem admitting that. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Seriously, we could not make it past 1,000 subscribers without all of you. Dylan, why have podcasts not been going up on Spotify? I don't know. That's something I've got to ask the effervescent one about. I need to get them up on Spotify. I've got to ask him about that. But again, man, it's been a weird week, hasn't it? I'm going to be honest. It's been a weird week, hasn't it? Hopefully you all have gotten through all the insanity, stayed sane, and at the same time, prepare yourselves as another Golden Gallon coming up in 9 weeks. Cannot wait. Till then, I will see you guys tomorrow. The effervescent one, Mike Tedesco and Queen Victoria, will be here to go over Monday Night Raw, the go-home edition to the Series of Survival, which comes up on Sunday at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Right here, you can catch me with that same effervescent one as we watch along the Series of Survival. People tell me and my boss tells me it's the dumbest pay-per-view ever conceived. Well, you can fuck his shit because fun things are fun. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Because of you guys that we do all of this stuff and I drink all of this liquor for my folly. Wear a mask. Don't be an asshole. Think of yourselves before yourselves. And as always, and this is the big one, especially with all that nonsense that happened on Friday on the Twitter and trying to say that, oh, I support unionization. Know when you're being sold to.